Throughout the entire existence of League of Legends, there has always been one character that seemed to reign supreme as the most annoying piece of garbage that Riot has ever created. A champion so annoyingly simple to play that the simple act of getting a kill in a game was enough to make people spew their hatred into all chat, with name calling and insults about your skill or your mother. That champion is Yasuo. What? Fuck off. That's fucked up. What the fuck? Hey, this game, man! I couldn't get away. Wait, what? We need to go further back in time. Riven. Further back? Yeah, it's Master Yi. The Master Yi has pretty much been the definition of one-button gameplay for quite a long time. His kit never really truly changing all that much unless you go way back in time when he used to have some different abilities, but we're not really going to cover that shit just now. With two spells that basically do nothing, a heal that basically also does nothing, and a single actual ability that does damage, you could be a paraplegic elephant and still probably could pull off at least a quadra kill at a moment's notice. That is pretty much Master Yi in a nutshell. You right click towards an enemy and you pray that your efforts in right clicking brute force anything that they have left, whether that be ultimates or summoner spells. You rely on your sheer brute force of auto attacks to pretty much just get anything done, and that's actually usually enough. He's the kind of champion that skirts along the sidelines of fights, waiting for people to blow big cooldowns, only to come in and clean up like... But that's not entirely what we're here to look at today. We're here to look at when Yi didn't even require auto-attacking really. More so that he just pressed a single button a few times and hope for the best. So let's get down into the nitty-gritty as to why Master Yi is a dead champion compared to the glory days. RIP. So if you put a picture of Master Yi in front of someone who has never played League of Legends in their life before, they could probably guess from his combination of cool sunglasses, a big katana, and dagger shoes that he was an AD champion, and not really one to do a whole lot of magic damage. Well, if you played Master Yi a few years ago, it would be at that point that you slap the picture out of that person's hand and spit in their face for not having a goddamn clue what they're talking about. For you see, you may not have played this game a few years ago. Some of you guys that are watching my videos, you might be fairly new players to the game, but I'm sure you have heard hushed whispers in the back alley of gaming cafes from your friends. Maybe someone offhandedly mentioned it and then changed the subject out of fear. You see, years ago, League of Legends as a whole community came together to fight a common enemy, and that enemy was full AP Master Yi. Yes, the character that literally has only one real attack pretty much dominated every single game that he was in with that attack. He used to be played mid the most, due to his Q having a pretty fucking ridiculous AP ratio that scaled 100% with his AP. Basically, to sum it all up, the strategy that you would employ in mid lane as Master Yi was pretty simple. Q minions when the enemy mid laner moves in for CS, and since Alpha Strike is a spell that jumps between a lot of targets, there was a really good chance that you could catch the enemy mid laner just barely off guard, and you would do maybe 20% of their HP in one spell in the meantime. Now that spell was the ultimate zoning ability for mid lane. Since Master Yi is untargetable in Alpha Strike, and it can be thrown across minions to the point where even if you were to land from Alpha Strike, you're pretty much out of retaliation range anyway from the enemy mid laner. It was basically an ability that if you played it right, really had not a lot of counterplay at all, unless you were willing to retaliate with a flash to actually get you into range to do something to Yi. But hey, if you could trade back, all the better, right? If you were playing somebody with a little bit of range, or you were just smart enough when you played, there is no way to say that Master Yi using Alpha Strike was a death sentence. A couple of trades here and there, and hell, maybe even Master Yi is low as shit and within kill range. Things could be looking really good, except that back then, all Master Yi had to do was pop into the fog of war for a brief moment and then hit his W meditate, which, well, sure, it doesn't do a whole lot of healing these days, but back then it had over a 200% AP ratio with its healing. So even at level 1, if you started with just a Doran's Ring and some AP runes, you could heal half your fucking HP just by toddling out of lane for a second so you can heal in peace. This not only got more insane the more you leveled it, with shitloads, insane amount of levels of health that you could get, but also ridiculous MR and armor too. So if you knew an ultimate was coming from your mid laner, or if you knew that they didn't have any hard CC to break your channel, you could basically just smoke through the pain and immediately move into Alpha Strike without dishing out some counter pain. Now this, all alongside the fact that his ultimate used to entirely refresh the cooldowns on all of his abilities. Now, when I say refresh completely, I mean even the 30-second cooldown that W had would be refreshed. This isn't some cat arena bullshit, I'm talking completely refreshed. Meant that he was capable of basically single-handedly ripping through teams. Like, you would not believe how many pentakills of APE there are on YouTube. It's ridiculous. Like, you can look it up, there's thousands and thousands of videos of pentakills. Please take note of the mechanic prowess being displayed in these videos, how difficult those pentakills look, and how much skill is involved in achieving them. See, the problem lies in the fact that if Master Yi ever got remotely fed, his Alpha Strikes do a lot of damage. Now honestly, as long as you don't let your guard down with Master Yi, he wasn't the biggest problem in the world. Keeping your eyes out and being ready to stun him or move away from him or just ensure that he didn't get the Alpha Strike off or get a kill, even an assist wouldn't grant him those resets. And his Alpha Strike was actually a pretty decently long cooldown. It was good like 12, 13, 14 seconds potentially. So it wasn't that big a deal. But the fact of the matter was, you could let your guard down for just a split second. Let's say you're fighting his team. You let your guard down for even just half a second, and then Master Yi comes in. He snipes a kill with his Alpha Strike, it hits your entire team, and since he got a kill with that Alpha Strike, he now uses Alpha Strike again because the cooldown is refreshed, potentially dropping someone else to low or killing someone in the process. And you're basically totally unable to do anything about this unless you manage to get lucky with where he happens to land so that you can chain CC him. But even at that, his heal is now off cooldown too, and he has 4 other people that you have to deal with, so you're basically getting slapped around by Casper the friendly fucking ghost because you cannot see or attack the person who is slapping your tits off with the finest of Japanese steel. Entire fights could be ruined by losing track of Master Yi for even a split second, or having the audacity to move into a fight when you're low. Back when you were playing against APE, if someone was even remotely half health, you did not fight. That person went back and they stayed the fuck away from the team because they were not gonna give up a pentakill. They were not gonna start that chain reaction, and if they did, that was a fat, stinking report that was gonna be coming out onto that person. You could guarantee that shit. But unless you had a tanky team, which, let's face it, in solo queue, who are you kidding? Your team could not really sustain long enough to actually tank the ridiculous amount that Alpha Strikes were actually dishing out. Now, meaning that you were just constantly running away at the mercy of Master Yi and at the mercy of the enemy team, trying not to fight for extended periods of time, otherwise someone might die to him and it would start that horrible chain reaction. Even the enemy team weren't happy with it. Master Yi's own team were not really particularly happy with Master Yi because they're sitting with a score of 3-3-29 when they're playing fucking AD carry, and Master Yi has 200 kills, and if he dies, the game is pretty much over. Like, there's so many games that I've seen where an APE will just take every single kill, he'll get a bunch of pentakills, but then he gets killed in a fight, and then the enemy team get completely steamrolled because they have no kills and no gold distribution, and it's beautiful to see. It's amazing to see. So, that was it. That's pretty much it. You just threw on some good old drunk Dragon Force live videos, and you just sat and you played Master Yi like... So hopefully now you realize that Master Yi, back in the day, he's a shell of his former self. The old Master Yi is long gone now. But to be honest, I never really enjoyed playing against that fucking complete prick anyway, so not the worst thing in the world. However, still, despite that, I still have some respect for the dead. So, RIP Master Yi. Please, gentlemen, pay your respects in the comments by typing F, and we can put this poor child to rest. Hey, what's up guys? Thank you for watching yet another RIP video. Really appreciate it. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe as well. And yeah, I've got another Why I Hate, hopefully coming out tomorrow. I'm going to try and work on it hard. I've just been trying to get videos good. I know some of my days are a little bit sporadic, where it's like, I'll upload 4 days or 5 days in a row, and then I won't upload the next day, and it's like, I'm basically not really doing daily videos, I'm just doing videos when they're done. However, I think I've kind of like gotten a good grasp of how to get this going and get things going, so it's not too bad. I actually have a non-league video coming out in about 2 days time on Saturday, and it's a PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds video. If you're into the game, I'd really appreciate it if you watch it. If you're not into the game, it's a really fun game anyway. It's very much just a funny moments montage meme thing bullshit, so hopefully you enjoy it. I'd really appreciate if you watch it, because I know a lot of league YouTubers who don't get very many views on things that aren't league, but I do a lot of play a lot of games, so yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. Have a good one. See you later.